Welcome to Real Bass Lessons. I'm excited today to show you three beautiful instruments. I'm going to do a little review on these three basses that I just acquired. These are all Fender custom shop instruments. They're that, I forget what they call it now. Time Machine, that's it. Time Machine Relic. So they're designed to feel and look and play like old basses. This is a 1960p bass, heavy Relic. And I love it. I really do. You can see the relicing on this really makes it look old. Looks like it's been around the track. Years ago, I think the relicing on many of the basses that they did that to just kind of looked fake, and I didn't seem to like it. But today, I think they've really perfected their technique of doing it. And it looks and feels real old. That's part of that Time Machine thing, too. They sort of sand and smooth everything off so it feels like a bass that's been well played in. I think we all like that when we pick a bass and it feels like it's been played a bunch. Love it, okay? This is vintage white, aged, and it turns that very yellow color. I call it yellow, but that's classic of old basses. It's got a pickup that they call their hand-wound custom 1962 pickup, and boy, I like the sound of this one a lot. It has the traditional old-style bridge. It's very smallish and thin. Some people like putting a heavier mass bridge, a high mass bridge on the basses. I kind of like this small stuff. I feel like there's a little more vibration going on. I know when you put the heavier ones on, it seems to lock in and sort of has more sustain, but I like the feel of this one here. The neck, oh my goodness. This neck is exactly like the old basses. I own a number of vintage Fender basses, authentic ones, and the 60s and 61s are my favorite, and this neck is shaved and cut to be exactly the same. It's the standard 1.75 here, and then the depth at the first fret is 790, and the depth at 12th fret is 990. That's 0.770, and 0.770 and 0.790. Oh, I forget what it is. I'll put the specs in here. I think it's 790 and 990, but I'll write the specs below. But it just has that right feel. It's just got that good C-cut neck on it, and I love it. Very smooth. All the frets are just done perfectly. Feels real well. It's got the old-style tuners, the reverse tuners, of course. What else? Oh, the fingerboard radius is that 9.25. I like that a lot. And it just, again, I saw it written this way once. It said if you were blindfolded and you had it given to your hands, you couldn't tell if it was, the real thing or a new custom shop. And boy, this one feels great. Let's play a little bit, hear what it sounds like, okay? Oh, yeah. You can play all styles of music on it, but I like it. There's something about the way these basses feel today. This is from the 2019 collection. It just feels so loose and live. There's just a character about the feel it just plays. I just really can't handle a bass that, may be sort of perfect in many ways, but it doesn't seem to have a character to it. And my gosh, this just has a live feel to it. Absolutely love it. Let's move on to the next one. This Sunburst beauty here is exactly the same model as that blonde one. It's the 2019 collection, Fender Custom Shop, copy of a 1960p, and it's that Time Machine again in the heavy Relic. Obviously, you can see this one's heavy Relic. The Sunburst finish, and boy, she's been worn off in spots. And again, it's so tastefully done. How do you say tastefully scratched up? Well, it looks authentic and feels good. It's got a real smoothness to it and just feels right on. All the specs on this bass are identical to that one. I'll again put them here on the bottom of the page so you can see them. And again, it just has a warmth and a flavor and a feel to it. Let's do that. Oh, that sounded good. What was that? Yeah, how about a little of this? to see a lot more playing on these basses, I've got a bunch of other demo videos of me playing all three of these basses here on the same site. Okay? All I really want to say about this is it's just as good as the other one. I love it. I feel like for the value, these are tremendous instruments. Without having to spend that really high dollar to buy the authentic vintage instrument. Now I know, because I own a bunch of them, there's something about the character of those that's real, that's special. But these basses sound and feel so much like the old instrument that, like I said, an extremely high value at the price. Right on. Let's move on to the next bass. Now this one, as you can see, has got this knockout Sherwood green metallic finish on it, huh? This one's a 59 replica. It's the same thing. Actually, it's a 2018 collection. Fender Custom Shop, 1959. It's that time machine. And this is what's called Journeyman Relic, which is very little. It's got just a few dings here and there, not very much. Just enough dings to make you not worry about putting your own first ding in it. But it's a gorgeous axe, and of course that anodized pickguard looks like the old thing. And the specs, believe it or not, are exactly the same on these. Same pickup, same controls, bridge, same size and shape to the neck. The only difference on this one is the frets are just a little bit skinnier, a little narrower, a little taller. More of that classic 59 frets. Love this bass. And interesting, this one is just ever so slightly darker. I can crank the tone way up and get a real thin sound, but I swear there's just a little bit more mellowness to it. Either that or it's just my imagination. Actually, I don't know if they intended that or not, but it's really nice. Here, let's play a little bit. Again, I put up some real nice performance demos of me playing these. You can check those out if you want. Absolutely love this bass. Just like the other ones, the quality is just first class. The necks are solid, true as could be, in tune, in tune, very accurate all over. They're just real easy, and man, I like to make the necks real flat so there's just a real sort of a growl and a roar. One guy on one of the videos said, "Jim, does it have that sort of, how do you get that like farting, kind of like really aggressive sound?" And I said, "Well, I kind of set it up that way and I dig in." Yeah, sure, that's just the way I like to play. But the point is the bass just responds so well. All three of these basses, they just feel right. There's a life to them, and I just dig that. I was fortunate enough last weekend I played these three basses, or excuse me, me and two of my students, we played these three basses together. We were doing some duets and trios, some sort of classical stuff. And the bass is just blended like beautiful. Again, that's because they're just accurate. There's no dead notes anywhere. Everything speaks all over the instrument, low to high, it's in tune. Wonderful basses. If there's anything I left out as far as little particulars, you can just go online and find it. It's written every place. But I can't say enough about what a custom shop has done with today's instruments. They're making these high quality ones. My hat's off to them. I don't have a hat on, but it would be. And they hit a home run. They're making great instruments. So I'm sure you can find one someplace. They're not around in all little stores, but they're around someplace. Try one out. I promise you'll be impressed. I actually bought these sight unseen. That's because I have a lot of older basses and I know what all the specs and what the stuff should sound like. And I talked to some people and made sure it was what I wanted. The weight on all these, I just like the lightness of these. So I think they're killer instruments. Fire it up. Hope you enjoyed this.